Okay guys, I'm back with another video. Today we're going to talk about creatine and why you should use creatine. So creatine doesn't only have one benefit. Creatine has a lot of benefits. This is how I would use creatine. Honestly, the way I would use creatine, I would use more than the recommended dose. Usually what they tell you is to do a loading phase, and I think that's anywhere from like 10 to 20 grams for I think a week, and then you just go back to 5 grams, which is a scoop. In my opinion, that's nowhere near enough. How I would use it would be after every meal that I eat, I would wait around 2-3 minutes. I would also get myself some iso protein. As soon as I'm done eating my meal, I would take a normal sized cup, not a liter, not a half a liter, 250 mLs. You put a scoop of creatine in there, you put a scoop of iso protein in there, you mix it up really well. Put the water first, not the powders first, because it'll be all at the bottom. Water first, creatine, and then the iso on top, and then you just drink it down. Now, with that being said, I would take this after every single one of my meals, not just one time. If you just take 5 grams a day, you're not going to see nothing. By the time you see anything happen, it'll be literally 2-3 months. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing visual. If you want visual differences where you could see something different going on in like a couple days, eat your meal. As soon as you're done your meal, let it slowly, go down to the bottom, go to the sink, put some water in a cup, put 1 scoop of creatine, 1 scoop of iso, and you drink it down. Now what that's doing is it's supplementing the protein. So if you're not getting enough protein, use iso whey. And what I would do would be, after every one of my meals, even my breakfast, if I was finished my breakfast, I would go get the creatine, get the iso, put it in a cup, drink it down. Do that with every single one of your meals. If you do that with every single one of your meals, you will see a difference in less than 4 or 5 days. You will see a visible difference. Now, with that being said, you need to monitor yourself. You can't just take it and, sort of not look at yourself. I know it sounds like a little bit like, well, oh, I'm going to look at myself all day. I know it sounds a little bit messed up, but it's the truth. You need to monitor yourself, meaning you need to look at what's going on in the mirror. You're the only one that's going to be able to tell. You're the only one that has the best eye for your body. So with that being said, you have to monitor yourself. And if you're worried about, I'm going to bloat and I'm going to do this, yes, you might bloat, but there ain't nothing wrong with bloat. Okay? A little bit of bloat is no problem, because what happens in that bloat, when the muscle bloats up full of all that good stuff, also a lot of growth happens in that bloat. So with that being said, when you do start doing cardio and you start, maybe dieting down a little bit, what you're going to have left is a bigger muscle than you had before. Now, also I want to touch on iso whey. Iso whey is not the end all be all. It's not food. For the ones who think iso is food, you guys are dead wrong. What I see a lot that happens at the gym is, I see guys come to the gym, they'll have their water bottle, and as soon as they're done their workout, they'll go to the sink, the water fountain, and they'll put water. And they'll literally have 1 scoop and a liter of water. And to me, that's total ridiculous. That's silly. You do not need that much water. You do not need a liter of water for 1 scoop of iso. And for those who do not know how iso is made, I'll tell you how it's made. Do you guys ever see the process of making cheese? And you ever see them in those barrels and then it's pressed down and you see the white liquid on top? Or when you have, let's say, cheese in the fridge, or let's say yogurt in the fridge, and sometimes you leave it there for too long and you see the white water on top? That's iso. So for me, in my lifetime, in my 9 years of training, I must have only went through maybe 4 tubs of ISO. I never really believed in it. It's not something that is a meal. It's not something you drink after your workout and you think, oh, I'm good, I don't need to eat. You're dead wrong. Do not do that. Do not do that. What that is for only is because when you work out, eventually your body starts eating away at itself. It goes into catabolism. So to stop that, you drink the ISO whey. And all that is for you to get from the gym and to get home. So you stop your body from eating away at your muscle. When you get home, you still got to eat that meal. So ISO is just water from the cheeses and water from dairy products. What they did, they're thinking, well, what are we going to do with all this wasted water? They knew there was some good stuff in there, so what they do, they take it, they dry it up, they add a couple things to it, and they put it on the shelves. I mean, that's not, to me, that ain't food. What's really going to get you big is eating those 4 to 6 meals a day. Now, I'm not saying don't use it, but don't use it in a way where you're thinking, oh, this is going to be so much beneficial. And then, listen, I've used it. I've used ISO before. All that does, it expands my muscle. And then as soon as you don't take it for a day or two, it goes back. And it decreases in size. So if I had one advice for you guys, do not look at ISO whey as food. Now, another thing that's good about creatine, it's the most studied supplement on the market. So you know it's safe. You know it ain't gonna be bad for your heart. You know it ain't gonna be bad for your kidneys. People say, oh, what about my kidneys? No, you don't gotta worry about that. Unless you have some underlying kidney issues where it's really, you have, maybe you have some bad kidneys from whatever, maybe past stuff that you've done, or maybe you've taken medication in the past and your kidneys are a little bit okay, then that's fine. But if you have no kidney issues, you should not be worrying about your kidneys. Like, Jesus Christ, people, if you're working out and drinking enough water, which you should be drinking minimally 2 liters up to 4-5 liters a day, you do not have to worry about your kidneys, period. Now, on another note, what is creatine good for? Well, creatine helps with brain function, helps with short-term memory, reasoning, quicker, sharper reasoning, quicker, faster. It also protects your neural protection, protects and helps groups of cells from getting damaged or injured, helps with dementia. What does it do muscle-wise? It helps you with ATP. ATP is a source of energy, and what it does, it lets you be more energetic when you're doing your set. So in your intense sets, if you take creatine for a couple weeks, you should see your sets getting a little bit better, a little bit easier. Now, don't use it in a way where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna take 5 grams a day. Though that's the silliest thing you can do. Yes, okay, if you're not going to the gym and you're not working out and you want to use it for like the neurological benefits of it and stuff like that, yes, okay, 5 to 10 grams is fine. But at least for me, what I seen, visual effects, visual changes, was when I mixed it with ISO and I ate it after every meal, because you're helping supplement the protein, because sometimes we do not get enough protein from our food. That happens to a lot of us. So to prevent that, eat your meal, get a cup, not a liter, not 500 mLs, 250 to 300 mLs. Put the water in the cup first, put the ISO creatine on top, mix it well, and just chug it down. And now you're gonna have more protein, and it's supplementing your food. So in the long run, you will see benefits from it. Do not steer away from creatine. I know it's a very underrated supplement, but me, myself, I haven't had it for maybe 5-6 months, and I'm gonna go buy some myself. So for the beginners who are starting off, creatine will be like your best friend. That's what you should be using after every meal. You have 4 meals, that means 4 scoops. 1 scoop with every meal. You have 6 meals, okay, 1 scoop with every meal. It ain't gonna hurt you. If your body doesn't like it, it will tell you. And how that's gonna look like, you're gonna have diarrhea, which is not that bad. It's not that bad. Yes, you're gonna lose some liquids. You might lose some, nutrients and stuff. Not a big issue. You could gain that back. Cut back on the creatine. But if you can, try and use it with every meal. I feel like people are not taking advantage of it, and they're jumping straight to gear, or they're jumping straight to, the heavy gear. And it's like, hold on. You got to go through the stages, right? It takes time to get big. It doesn't just happen overnight. You got to have a plan. A lot of bodybuilding is very boring. It's the same thing every day. Same stuff, same time, same food. And the reason you eat the same food for, a good amount of time is so you can see what that food is actually doing to your body. So if you keep eating different foods every other day and you don't know what's really happening. You got to keep the same food, the same amount of weight. Do not steer away from creatine. It will be your best friend. Give it a couple days. 1 scoop with every meal. And I'm telling you, you will see a noticeable difference, a visual difference. And you will also see a difference in your power. Try it out, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm going to make another video about, some other stuff that will be beneficial to you guys. But do not steer away from creatine. Creatine is very beneficial, and it's also beneficial for women. Yes, for women. So, in the end, creatine is the safest supplement that you could buy. And it works. It really does work. So, on another note, I'm going to end this video. If you guys want anything for me to talk about, just write it in the comments. Like and subscribe the video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.